Hello, learners. Once again, I want us to look at a very interactive lesson on paying attention. I hope you are paying attention to me, and I would want us to see the reason why we need to pay attention, the reasons why we need to pay attention. We are saying listening is different from hearing. When you listen, you understand both the verbal and the non-verbal information. Why should you listen? Why are you listening to me, by the way? To obtain information. I know that is one of the reasons. To understand the message. I'm saying you are listening so that you understand what I'm saying. So you can also listen for enjoyment. Like now, we want to make English fun. And I know you are enjoying listening to me. I also want you to listen so that the most importantly is to learn. So I want us to look at the techniques of paying attention. So that you can benefit from a talk, you need to listen and listen well. There are some things that I want you to put in mind that when you go to listen to something, the first thing that you need is to keep an open mind. You listen without judging the speaker or mentally criticizing their message. They pass. You just have to hold your critics and withhold judgment. Remember we said you can wait until your turn is up. You get your turn. That is when now you criticize. So when you go to listen to somebody, we are saying you keep an open mind. Then the other thing is you familiarize yourself with the topic. For example, someone wants to come to our school to make a talk on drugs and substance abuse, for example. So do you understand anything on drugs and substance abuse? So that now you can be making clarification as the speaker is making his speech. So audience, and you may find it fun. For example, when you already know on the types of drugs, then the speaker is saying the same thing. You'll find it that you'll be more keen to listen when you already have an idea of what the topic is about. And like when now a speaker comes to give you a topic on something that you are not even aware of. So it is very important that when you are told that there will be a speaker on career choices, for example, a speaker on English paper 1, you research on the areas that you need to hear. And then as the speaker is going to make the presentation, you can always relate to what you already know. So you can, how do you research? You research from books, by reading books. These days you can read from the internet, and you can also ask from people that already know about this. Then when you are listening as well, use the speaker responses to encourage the speaker continues speaking. Use the speaker responses to encourage the speaker to continue speaking. You'll get the information you need if you do so. So what do you need to do when you are listening and you want the speaker to continue speaking and the topic is very interesting? What do you need to do? You could nod your head. You are agreeing with what the speaker is saying. That way, you encourage them to continue with what they are making as presentation. But of course, you nod where appropriate. You cannot nod from morning till evening. You only nod occasionally. Then you can smile occasionally. Depending with what the speaker has said, you smile. You can also use small non-verbal cues. For example, you can say yes, That way, you are encouraging the speaker. You can say, I see, etc. Then you can also reflect back. For example, you can say, you said that when we are looking at listening skills, it is important because we are going to learn, because we are going to enjoy, blah, blah, blah. So you are reflecting back at that one. That way you are going to give the speaker an encouragement to continue speaking. So you can also take notes on the important points. This is very paramount. This one is important because especially it hinders from distraction, because you are going to concentrate on what is being said as you are making notes. So you should therefore know when you need and when you don't need to take the notes. Then the other thing you need to do is to listen to the main ideas. Of course, we have looked at summary writing. We know about the main ideas and then the supporting ideas. It is important because you can, how would you know it is the main idea? Of course, it is going to continue. The speaker will continuously repeat over the same. You know, this is a main idea, and they are also important because they're going to help you to remember the what was being discussed there, and even for your perusal in the future. Then you wait for the speaker to pause before asking a clarifying question. You just hold back. You wait until they pause. That is when maybe, for example, they want to take a sip of water. Then you can now raise your hand so that you can make the clarification. We also say that you avoid a distraction. Don't let your mind wander and be distracted by other people's activity. If the room is too cold or too hot, get the solution to the situation if possible. For example, you can for example, if it is very hot, we can power on the fan so that now it is a bit comfortable for us. Of course, you adopt an upright posture, sitting posture. That one, you definitely, when you sit upright, it shows that you're accommodating and you're also listening to what the speaker is saying. You also make eye contact with the speaker. And when you do this, you'll be able to understand the non-verbal cues, you know, the smiling, the frowning, the eyes when they are opened wide, and definitely you know all what those means. And what are those signs of an inactive audience? Because, for example, if I am a speaker, I should be able to read the body language of my audience. What is that sign of an audience which is not listening to what you are saying? You can easily tell. I can easily tell that the audience is not listening or they are inattentive, because if they possesses the following characteristics, for example, if they are playing with their hair, they are playing with their hair, if they are fidgeting, if they are looking at the clock or the watch, what of if they are picking the fingernails? What if they are passing small pieces of paper and I'm there making my presentation? What if they are shifting from seat to seat? Others are yawning, others are stretching. That is a sign that you are not paying attention. And remember, we said we should avoid distraction so that we may benefit from whatever presentation that is being made. And what are some of the barriers to effective listening? There are very many things that get in the way of listening, and you should avoid the bad habits so that you can become an effective listener. I'm sure you have benefited a lot from this lesson because you have adopted very good listening posture. So avoid the following. One, lack of interest in the topic being discussed. Remember, we have said, if you already have an idea of what is going to be discussed, that way you will be comfortable. That way you will be flowing with the speaker as they make the presentation. The other barrier that will hinder you from listening, we have said, is unfamiliarity with the topic and the discussion. We already said what you do. Read books, research in the internet, ask people, what is this that I'm hearing about careers? What am I supposed to know about the careers? Then the other one is fear. One might fear being asked a question and in the process fail to look at the speaker. Then noise is another distractor of listening. In case of noise, the listener might get what the speaker is saying. I believe that when you adopt the techniques of paying attention, we have talked about keeping an open mind, develop some interest in what is being said, research about the topic of discussion, pick a pen and a paper, note down the main points. That way you avoid distraction. Move with the speaker, body cues, smiling, nodding, appreciating by encouraging them to go on. You will really benefit. I believe you have benefited to what we have been doing, and I look forward to an even interactive lesson other times. Thank you for your time. Bye.